Istanbul, the European capital of culture, is a multicultural city and therefore a tourist centre. For several years in a row, young people from all over Europe have gathered to experience the culture and to learn about traditions and to break common stereotypes. For most of the participants, it is their first time in Istanbul. Today, we will talk with young people about what expectations they had before their trip and what impressed them when they actually arrived and experienced Istanbul.
I expected, first of all, some beautiful, amazing architecture, of which Istanbul is known. So I expected really beautiful, modern buildings in here. Maybe not modern, but a combination of traditional architecture with modern architecture. And I was pretty shocked, to be honest, at the first sight when we traveled on bus from the airport to the city center, Taksim Square, that some of the buildings on the way were really almost destroyed. It looked as if they were to collapse any second. I had a stereotype about the Islamic religion, and I thought that when I come here, probably everybody, I knew that they pray Islam, people who are of Islam religion, they pray 5 times a day, so I thought that they will, when there's time for prayer, everybody will fall down on their knees on the streets and they will start to pray. But it's not true, of course. Of course, I also heard about the position of women in this society, that the women sometimes, their rights aren't taken into consideration, but I think we are too short here to talk about this topic, and what is also very important is that Istanbul is not a representative image of the whole Turkey. It has to be underlined and stressed, so we cannot generalize the whole society. But when you go to the Blue Mosque, it was like I noticed that women have a separate place for prayer. Yes, it's like they have like a wall, and always like that. Okay, so there is some kind of division, even if you go to a church and like.
I got told that it was going to be quite conservative, and as a Western girl, not to walk around in little mini skirts and strap tops because the men might be disrespectful. Been to a few Islamic countries, so it wasn't that much of a culture shock. I was just aware that I was going to pack long sleeve tops and maybe wear a wedding ring to just say that I don't want any attention in that way. I'm not that much of a strong Islamic culture maybe in Istanbul. It's not that conservative, so it's fine. It's like Western and modern and stuff. But I guess if I went to other places, it's different. You can tell the difference between the districts anyway, like Taksim being really quite modern like any other city, but then when we went to like Sultanahmet, then yeah, it was a different vibe. Like I shouldn't have been wearing my clothes that I was, but in Taksim I think it's okay. The different culture, just the whole, like, I like that there's a lot of cafes and stuff on the streets, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of different cultures. It's not only Islam, it's, yeah, a lot of a mix.
So I was expecting something completely different, but what that was exactly I didn't know. So I came prepared for the worst. I brought everything that I could with me. I've got a sewing kit. And that's not just to mend my clothes, In my mind, I'm thinking, wow, if I get a good gash down my arm, I'm going to need to sew that sucker up. So I got to have something like that. And then I'm thinking, what if there's nothing there? So I bring things. I've got a penknife, just to make sure that I can, I've seen Ray Mears on the TV. He knows how to craft a canoe out of a tree, or build a small hut to live in if I really have to. And then when I got here and saw what it was actually like, I felt like such an idiot. I've got this whole collection of useless stuff that I don't even need. Like, I wasn't sure if they'd have hot water or, even a proper bed or anything like that. But when you get here, you realise that it's all Europeanised. It's like the biggest city I've ever seen. There's people everywhere. The action is intense. There's just stuff to go out and do every single day. So, I can cross the street at 3 a.m. at night and still be able to find some guy trying to sell me food. You know, it's everywhere. Every single street corner, there's someone selling something different. You've only got to have a bit of change in your pocket. Even if it's not enough, you can bargain with them. You know, come on, I've only got 2 lira left. And they'll be like, yeah, sure, go on then. So, yeah, it's been completely different to what I even sort of thought it might be like. I can't really say it's one thing I like the most. I mean, I've loved the fact that the action is all night. There's always something going on. The food is everywhere, you know. You can get a kebab anywhere down the street, and there's loads of stuff to try. There's loads of things going on. I love the people. I've had hour-long conversations with people who don't even understand me. I can't even understand them, but we're still there going, wee, chatting away and having a good time, you know. Every time I greet people, often it's with a bit of a reserved aspect, but then as soon as we start trying to talk to each other, it's all smiles and shaking hands, and everyone's really sort of happy.
So I knew it's a beautiful city, it's worth visiting, so yeah, I was prepared for seeing lots of Asian buildings, and it's true. And I like the fact that Istanbul is located on 2 continents. So yesterday we've been to the Asian part, and I really enjoyed that. Crossed the Bosphorus Bridge. Yeah, it looks very good at night as well. I like the lights on the Bosphorus Bridge. So yeah. But I like the fact that Istanbul doesn't sleep at all, you know. It's overcrowded all the time, all day and all night as well. You know, it was a traffic jam at 2:30 a.m., so it was a bit surprising to me, so yeah. And I like the way the taxi drivers, or generally drivers, they are, you know, driving on the road. It's a big mess actually on the road. Everybody does what he wants, but there's no accidents at all. Okay, yeah, so yeah, I do like Turkish tea as well. It's called chai, and yeah, they serve it in small cups, and yeah, it's very nice.
I think I have that feeling that it's going to be well, because I know that people who really really interest in that kind of things were coming up here. So I was pretty sure that something well is going to come up.
I came here with the thought that we would have good relations and start new good friendships, and in my opinion, I think we handled this. We started some friendships, and I think that this can work out progressively.